In this video, we'll compare the Dyson V15S Submarine and the V15 Detect, two of Dyson's latest cordless stick vacuum products. The V15 model isn't the absolute latest, but it's still one of their premium level options and cheaper than the Gen 5 Detect, at least the base model. Even though these products use the same base V15 cordless vacuum, I was curious how the V15S would perform in different experiments. We'll examine these in this video, so let's get into it. First, let's look at the features. The Dyson V15S Submarine and V15 Detect use the same V15 vacuum cleaner, which has the same LCD screen, detachable battery, and interchangeable tools. The only difference is that the V15S Submarine shows this graphic when you attach the wet-dry nozzle, which is incompatible with a standard V15 model. These products come with the same tools out of the box, except that the V15S has a submarine nozzle, a wet-dry tool for cleaning liquids or spills. This tool is meant to help Dyson fill a gap in its product line, a cordless product that can clean wet and dry messes. Both come with surface-specific nozzles for cleaning hard floors and carpets. One difference I noticed was that the V15S Submarine uses a newer laser slim roller found in the Gen 5 Detect, and I've gotten comments mentioning that newer V15 model releases have this feature. One way to verify if you're buying in a retail store is to check if the nozzle has switched. If it does, it's probably the older version that uses a less bright green laser. The newer laser slim roller doesn't have a switch and is twice as bright as the older version. The first test we'll look at is airflow, where I use an anemometer on these vacuums to measure airflow at the nozzle and wand. This test measures the amount of air flowing through, which is one indicator of its power and cleaning performance potential. High airflow stick vacuums will typically perform better in cleaning experiments. But airflow isn't the end-all be-all metric. Other factors come into play like brush hole design. And these cordless vacuums excel since these nozzles are efficient with debris pickup even in the auto setting. The Dyson V15 had better results using the digital motor bar nozzle, especially in the highest power setting, where it peaked at over 69 CFM, while the V15S Submarine was slightly better using the extension tube. I'm just reporting the results I got, and I've done the experiments more than once to verify if these are accurate. However, the variance in airflow did not affect the cleaning performance. Since these nozzles have above average pickup, airflow is still an important aspect, especially if you need to clean crevices or deep clean carpets, which is a strength of these vacuums. I tested these vacuums on several debris types such as coffee grounds, Quaker oats, quinoa, sand, and pet litter to see how well they could clean these types of dirt. Not surprisingly, the V15S Submarine and V15 Detect had nearly identical results in all the experiments, surface and embedded dirt. The variance in airflow did not affect the results of these vacuums on these tests. Both did well in the sand on hard floor experiment and deep clean experiment, getting high percentages. Both were excellent in the edge cleaning experiment, picking up every crumb of coffee in a few passes. I also tested these vacuums, how well it picks up hair between 5 and 12 inches, and the results were predictably close. There were some variances in the tests, but overall, these vacuums had similar strengths and weaknesses when cleaning hair. The V15 and V15S laser slim rollers picked up a high percentage, but the gap on both axles mean hair can wrap around them, especially when cleaning long strands. Their digital motor bar nozzles were excellent at cleaning hair on carpet, even long 12-inch strands. Both picked up 100% in most of the tests, with minimal hair wrapping on the brush, which is impressive since most cordless vacuums I've tested struggled, especially with long strands over 7 inches. There were instances where I spread out more than 1 gram of hair, which is more than what you typically clean inside homes without pets. Nonetheless, these products will also do well at cleaning hair, especially on upholstery, since both come with a hair screw tool, or a mini turbo brush with a tapered shaped corkscrew design that's excellent at resisting hair tangles. I tried the tool on fairly large quantity of long hair and it handled it well, picking up every strand of hair, whereas a standard brush would struggle to clean this much. Next, we look at the runtime comparison, where both exceeded the 60-minute claim. I tested both from a full charge to empty using the laser slim roller and digital motor bar nozzle, and here are the results. You'll notice that the results vary, but they range between 1 and 5 minutes in most of the experiments. The biggest variance is in the auto settings results, since when I tested the V15S Submarine, the piezo sensor was engaged, which means the motor was in a higher power setting during the experiment, hence the shorter runtime. When I tested the V15 Detect, the piezo sensor was not engaged, so it lasted nearly twice as long. So these results are representative of the runtime with the piezo sensor engaged and not engaged, if that makes sense. Lastly is the noise level comparison, where I use a sound meter to test these vacuums' noise levels, using the laser slim roller and digital motor bar nozzle at all the power settings, and here are the results. Again, the results are close with a variance of only a few decibels. Both exceeded the 80 decibel mark using the digital motor bar nozzle in the max setting. Most high-powered cordless vacuums like Dyson will be noisy, and there's no way around it. Fortunately, the laser slim roller is efficient enough to use in the lowest power setting registering in the low 70 decibel range. All these tests show that there isn't much variance between the cleaning performance and runtime of the V15S and V15 Detect, which brings me to the mopping performance, the ultimate deciding factor in whether to opt for the more expensive V15S Submarine or the V15 Detect. I tested the V15S wet dry nozzle on two things: its ability to pick up spills and remove almost dry stains, and the results were less than optimal. It wasn't efficient at picking up liquid, pushing it forward. One thing I noticed with the V15S wet dry nozzle is it doesn't seem to have much suction because the port is closed, preventing liquid from going through and possibly damaging the motor. This enclosure means that the nozzle almost has to rely entirely on the roller to pick up liquid and debris. The small open-top tray behind the roller serves as a catch basin for debris and liquid. Since it doesn't have a cover, there's a huge risk of liquid spilling with the slightest tilt, which is what happened when I removed the roller. It doesn't take much to fill the tray, another downside of a small dirty container capacity. Even with regular mopping, the Submarine 2 left too much liquid residue on the surface. Again, it's a suboptimal result for a product in this price bracket. Given the price difference and subpar mopping performance of the Dyson V15S Submarine, I wouldn't recommend it since there are cheaper options that perform better. Save your money and get a standard V15 Detect and use the extra cash for a cheaper wet dry vacuum. Or get a traditional mop, since it will perform better and save you lots of time compared to V15S Submarine. If this video has been helpful to you, consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload new comparisons like this, and I'll see you in the next video.